Hi, I'm Larry Weinberg. I'm the director over at the Romover Art Center. I just wanted to kind of share with you some of my work and my process of how I go through to get there. My work is work that I do when I travel. I am unable, for whatever reason, to get work done when I'm in Minnesota. So when I'm traveling, I have a way of traveling with all my art supplies. So when I go to a place, I'll be there for 4 to 6 weeks. I'll bring all my art supplies with me. So what I do is I take my little traveling kit. It's seen better days. It's got some duct tape. And I have all my paints and all my brushes, all my materials are in here. And then I bring different paper and I paint. My paintings are fluid acrylic on paper. So what I have is I'll have boards like this that I'll carry in my suitcase, and I'll start out with a piece of paper. And I'm usually using 140 or 300-pound watercolor paper as a base. Then what I do is I start layering different colors onto it and textures. So this would be like with the first kind of layers that I'd be putting on. And then I'd start adding more layers, and this has got a few more layers on it. So typically when I'm working on 3 or 4 paintings at a time. As one's drying or one's in the process, I go to the next one. And what I find is that I like to find a spot where I can work outdoors and work every day. So I go, and in the case of the wall behind me, these were all done in Isla Mujeres, Mexico. And these were done on it's a little island, and I stay outside, I have a covered area, and I paint. And I usually get up early, or I'll do it in the afternoon, depending on what the light is like. And the light is different, which really is great. Now, people were asking me, is that because you're inspired when you're there? And inspiration plays a very small role in what I do. Most of the time, I'm not inspired. I do not have a specific idea of what I want to create. What I want to do is just kind of look and see what kind of relationships are going to happen with the paint and the texture. So as I go about it, I start by just laying paint and texture on paper, and I'll start seeing where things are going. And that will get me started. So a lot of times, in a case like this, I'll be looking and I'll lay some paint and color just as a start, and I'll say, okay, I'm not really sure of what's happening here, so I'll start dripping some paint. I'll use a sprayer, and I'll see some shapes then start coming up, and then I say, wait a second, I see a fish, or I see coral, or I see something in my mind. And one of the big questions that people have asked me about my work is, are you a skin diver? Do you go undersea and do snorkeling? I spend very little time underwater. I'm inspired by it, but I do not spend a lot of time. It's more my imagination. So I'm using the relationships of paint, texture, light, and color to create these. So in a case like this one, some shapes started coming and a turtle started appearing on this one. I don't know if he's going to stay or not. It's really one of those things I'm not quite sure about. So that gives you kind of an idea of what my process is. It's a process of I have to work every day, and when you're working every day, things start happening, meaning that I see such progress. The first day I start painting, it's usually a mess. I'm not happy with it. The second day, some things start happening. The third day, I'm really starting to see the relationships start to happen. And what's interesting is that you look at it and you start saying, there's a color, there's a shape, there's different relationships that happen between the color, the texture, the shape. And those are the things that really fascinate me and I'm always playing with. You wait around for inspiration, you're going to wait all your life to get something done. So you just have to do the work.